Well, hello everyone. I hope you are all integrating well from the solar eclipse circle. This is your integration reading where Spirit and the Creator channels guidance on how to flow through the next cycle of energy that is coming your way. So, we will begin first with the moon cards, which speak about the energy that is coming. So the first card that had come out says surrender to the divine. And I'm actually getting really good feeling from this card. There's something that shifted in major ways during that healing circle where you are now able to flow through the energy that's coming in. What appeared to you as a block no longer feels like a block. It feels more like an exciting challenge that you're really eager to put some closure to. So I am hearing that there are some old connections, old projects, old energy that's being closed and released from you. And that itself feels wonderful. It's like you're allowing the universe to do all that for you. So you're surrendering to how your spirit team, the universe, and yourself are all working together to release all those things that are no longer serving you. The next card, a win-win outcome is forecast. So how wonderful. So surrender to the divine, surrender to the flow, try not to resist. And a win-win outcome is forecasted. So I am so excited. That means you all were able to go very deep and release what was no longer serving you. And the final card says a fiery climax approaches. This has a couple meanings to it. One is where there might be a moment of intense energy where there could be an argument and that leads to some sort of a closure. You realize from that interaction something that wasn't really resonating with you anymore, and it's really time to let it go. The climax here also refers to this build-up of energy and anticipation of something good that is going to happen. So this major peak within your energy that's going to really rise really high, and that's going to create a win-win outcome. So do continue with whatever inner work that you're doing, releasing things that no longer serves your highest good, or even making those changes. I'm feeling right now, if you make those changes, even the little ones, it's going to accelerate your soul's growth and accelerate the things that you manifested in that pyramid when we were all together in the circle. So those little tiny changes are going to create huge results. That's what I'm hearing. So now's the time to implement or make those changes so that you energetically begin to shift in wonderful ways. And I'm sweating a lot as I'm channeling this, so that's a huge yes from the spirit world. I'm also hearing from one of your spirit guides that the fact that I'm sweating also means it might be a lot of hard work. So you might really sweat physically, but also perhaps on a spiritual level, you might work really, really hard that it actually produces those results that you have been working so hard for quite some time, I'm hearing. And for some of you, I'm seeing 2 years. So finally, you'll reap all those beautiful results. So how wonderful. Going on now to what you are learning. What are the virtues that you are gaining at this time? So I'm going to move some cards over so I can make room for these cards. The first virtue, you're learning about inner peace. I'm not sure if this card had popped out in the prep reading because this card feels familiar, but this is what you are getting really close to achieving, this sense of inner peace. And it comes from surrendering to the divine, surrendering to the flow of what's happening. But at the same time, I do see a lot of you being active, making those small changes or big changes so that it could assist the universe to align things for you and allow those manifestations to happen a little quicker. And as you know, the more we do our inner healing work, our divine timing changes, meaning we can manifest things a lot more efficiently and faster. So how wonderful. There's inner peace coming in, both within your own energy, but how you feel in relation to the world, your relationship to others also. And I'm also hearing for a lot of you in relationship to your spirit team. So your intuition is definitely going to increase and expand. The second virtue that you're learning is success. What does that look and feel like for you? And you're going to find that the definition of success is going to be very different from what the collective consciousness believes it is. So this is your definition of success, which is a lot more meaningful. You are also welcome to do this test where you ask your spirit team, what's the definition of success from the creator's perspective, or from one of my spirit guides' perspective, or one of my ancestors' perspective. You'll find that each and every spiritual being will have a different definition of what success, prosperity, or abundance really is. So explore that, and you'll start to see why there are those variations in those definitions about success. And then from there, find your own definition of it. So right now, you're going through this test. That's what I'm hearing. You're also exploring other ways you want to experience success. So what is that? How will you manifest that? And what are the small and the big changes you need to make so you could call in those various successes into your life? I'm hearing you're going to have a different understanding of what success is and your relationship to it. It's a much more higher, spiritually vibrational level. I'm not sure what the exact word that the spirit world wants to use, but they're definitely saying it's a much high vibrational definition of success. So we'll leave it at that. And the final card, what you are learning, thriving. So you're going to learn how to thrive. So I do feel that these cards came out in the perfect order. The first was inner peace. So that's what you're going to need to feel first. And then you'll know what success, prosperity, or abundance looks like in your life, or what kind of success you need in your life. And from there, you'll make those big or small changes and you'll thrive. So you're going to learn what it feels like to thrive in your life. And again, very similar to the virtue of success, you're going to have a different relationship to the definition of thriving. What does that really feel like? And I'm hearing a lot of your spirit guides say you're going to feel so much more alive when you get to this state. So how exciting. Next, we're going to go into what other things that you will be learning still, and other things that you may need to heal. Protection. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. So there's some boundaries here that you need to implement. And a lot of your spirit guides are chiming in and saying, yes, this means all kinds of boundaries. So that also means setting relationship boundaries, also energetic boundaries. So carry that gemstone. And I'm seeing black tourmaline, smoky quartz. Those are quite powerful to carry with you to give you that energetic protection when you're outside or at work, or simply in a busy place like a mall. It's really nice to have those gemstones. It gives a beautiful sense of safety and security to the soul, knowing that they are protected by those stones or any other stones that you are feeling guided to carry with you. So allow your intuition to guide you. Calling back your power and cutting the cords in soul retrieval, those words are still buzzing quite powerfully on this card, and I'm sweating a lot, which means it's a very important message. So, call back your power. They spoke about that. That's all about setting those boundaries, cutting the cords. What are the relationships that's no longer serving you? And what are those that you could release and let go at this time? The soul retrieval part, for those of you who are healers, you will need to call back your soul parts and your life force energy. And when you do that, make sure that you do wash, cleanse, heal, activate them under the Creator's white light before integrating it back into you. This is because when our soul fragments or life force energy break off and other people have it, or it's just floating around, it does gather spiritual dust. And by that, I mean it can collect other people's negative energy into it. Entities could get attached to it. Wayward spirits may be drawn to it. So it's so important to do that clearing work before you integrate those fragmented soul parts into you. And for those of you who are non-healers, know that this work was done in the circle. It was done as part of that instant healing. That's what the Creator is saying. I'm also hearing some of you need to protect your time by setting boundaries. So where are you allowing yourself to work when it's really your time off to rest and relax? So look into where the boundaries are being crossed. Where are aspects of your life just merging together? Where are you doing things, cooking in the kitchen, but you're also answering work emails in between, chopping vegetables or washing dishes? So have those boundaries in your life. Separate those actions out so none of them are overlapping and distracting you and pulling your energies in different ways. The next card here, Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. How wonderful. So things are falling into place, but make sure you seed those beautiful beginnings that you want to invite into your life by doing those small changes or even making the big ones. I'm hearing, because of the massive amount of blocks that were released in the circle, even a small change could yield huge results. So that is really, really exciting. And as I channel that message, the card, a win-win outcome is forecasted and a fiery climax approaches, buzzed quite powerfully. So it's related to the message in those moon cards. The final card here, Council of Light, divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So know that Spirit has your back. And that is all that this card wants to say, assuring you that Spirit has your back and supporting you. In particular, I'm hearing that they do get really excited when we let go of old connections that's no longer serving us and begin making little or big changes in our lives so that we can move forward. And that's where your spirit team gets really excited and go, oh, time to step into action, you guys. Let's all work together and support this new direction that our human is headed towards. And some of you are not paying attention to signs from your spirit team. So pay attention to the subtle signs or the really obvious signs. That was spoken about in the prep reading, I believe. It was in the card called Anomaly, where it's the random signs that really grab your attention. So pay attention to those sort of signs. the ones that really stand out to you and that you've never quite paid attention to before. Okay, so going in now into the spirit animal cards. So during this time, as your vibration is lifting higher, Sandpiper Spirit says, be playful. So that's a wonderful way to lift your vibration. Being playful, having fun. And as I'm saying that, the clock here says 11:11. So that's a confirmation from Spirit saying this is a very important message. Be joyful, have fun. Because when you're at that extremely high state of spiritual frequency, it's so much easier for Spirit to merge with your energy and drop some inspirations into you so you know what the changes you need to make or what direction you need to go in or what are the choices out there for you and the final decision you need to make. And speaking of Spirit being by your side, the next card says, let Spirit be your guide. So I think I channeled the message from the next card here. And Hawk Spirit is just reminding you, just let Spirit be your guide. Pay attention to those signs. I'm also hearing pay attention to your emotions. Spirit is trying to communicate with you by bringing up some emotions within you. And those emotions might talk about the trauma or the block that still needs to be healed. So hold space when an emotion comes up within you and connect with it. Ask yourself why you're feeling that and what it is that it's trying to tell you. Panther Spirit says reclaim your power, and that's how you will reclaim your power, by connecting with your emotions, paying attention to those signs from Spirit. I'm also hearing that a lot of you are already feeling you have stepped into a different kind of power since the healing circle. So I'm going to just allow the Creator, the universe, and your spirit team to show you what that next level of power, how it wants to evolve within you. I just heard career change for some of you. That's exciting. So the next cards here are the Goddess cards. So what do these Goddess want to talk about? So the first Goddess is Irene, and she wants to talk about peace. So here's another card with the word peace in it. Remember, one of the virtues you're gaining at this time is inner peace. So the Goddess Irene has a little bit more to say about that. And she says, there is no need to worry as everything is working out beautifully. So surrender to the divine. Remember that card, the very first card. The next Goddess is Mott, and she is talking about fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So if any of you are trying to close some sort of a conflict, I don't feel like it is a big conflict. It feels like a minor misunderstanding that is creating this high level of anxiety within you, and it's making it feel like it's something a lot bigger than it really is. So know that the situation will be handled in a very fair manner. I'm hearing the word justice, meaning that there are some understanding that will be reached between you and the other person. And I am also hearing that there's a sense of relief and release that will come from this closure. So there's that word again, closure. And I was just pausing there, so I wasn't sure if Mott had any more to say, but she's saying, no, I said everything I wanted to say. I love these goddesses. They just keep their messages straightforward and simple. The final goddess here is Ishtar, and she's talking about boundaries. So there's that word again. Where are you not setting your boundaries? And her message is love yourself enough to say no to others. Demands on your time and energy. So where are other people taking your energy, taking pieces of you? And this goes back to those soul parts and fragments and the life force energy that you need to call back into yourself because others have taken it away from you. If you want to know where or when those soul fragments or energy were lost or taken from you, reflect back to the time where you may have given too much of your energy or someone really took advantage of you, and then call those soul fragments and life force energy back. And of course, to fully complete the return of those soul fragments and life force energy, you do need to acknowledge the lesson that you learned from those experiences. That's always important to do in our healing journey. So acknowledging what did you learn from that time, and then call back those soul fragments and life force energy. We are now going into the self-care cards. So what can you do in terms of self-care? The first card here, dance. So move your body. Dance is a wonderful way to allow the integration to go in much deeper. Movement is also a wonderful way to shake off any other lingering energies that's ready to be released from you. You don't have to dance, that's what I'm hearing. It could be yoga. It could also be running, because I see some of you working out and running. And speaking of working out, the next card here talks about building strength. So do build strength, however that looks like. I'm hearing swimming will be good for you. It will build and tone your entire body and strengthen it and make it more lean. So if swimming is your thing and you are fearless of water, go for it. And it could also mean simply doing a few push-ups or lifting weights, however building strength resonates with you. I'm also hearing that building strength card refers to the boundaries, the message about boundaries. Where do you need to build your emotional, mental, and spiritual strength to set those boundaries? And I'm going to simply allow Spirit to guide you on how to do that. The final card here is use your hands. So on this card, there's a woman creating something with her hands. So doing something creative. It could be cooking also. Cooking is a wonderful way to ground your energy and to really take a good care of yourself. I'm seeing really healthy foods here in front of me, so salads, and anything that's home cooked, cooked by your own hands. So cooked from scratch, I'm hearing. So if you're the kind to love, if you love to make food from scratch, go for it. And I'm just tuning into the other cards to see if there's anything else they want to say. No. So that is all that the Creator wants to give you to guide you in your integration and how to flow with the energy that's coming your way. This is all wonderful and exciting, very exciting guidance and message here for you. And I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful day.